Shall we start the class? I'm audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, I told you either Cartesian form or else polar form. Any one will be coming for the exam. That is very, very important. Take sure this question is sure for you people. Okay. So, let us see the things. You know the definition. Okay. In the definition they have given here. So, that is you can see here. You can see here where W equal to f of z u xy plus iv xy or else u plus iv may be analytic at the point z is equal to x plus iy. This is very important. What they are saying is that this u plus iv or u is function, because as it is in Cartesian form, I have to write xy. They are the functions of xy. They are saying that this f of z, w or f of z or u plus iv or u of xy plus iv of xy, they are saying that there it is analytic at the point z is equal to x plus iy. So based on this, we are proving this. Based on this, we are proving this. So let us see the things. So you can see. Don't by-head the theorem, please. It is not for by-heading the things. Okay. So please try to understand the concept. It is very, very important because you can see here. See what I had taken f of z is analytic. They have given, we are taking that one only. At the point z is equal to x plus iy. So by the definition of analytic, see as it is analytic, I'll give a connection by the definition of analytic. So by the definition of analytic, what it says, derivative should exist. That is f dash of z should exist and it should be unique. That we have studied in definition of analytic function. Is it right? Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So next, see, f of z we know that I am writing, that is u of xy plus I into v of xy. See here, as they have given increment as a delta z for z. So similarly, you give increment for x, that is nothing but delta x. And if you are giving increment for y, that is nothing but delta of y. So for z, they have given z plus delta z as an increment. For x, we will give x plus delta x. For y, we will give y plus delta y. And for x, again x plus delta x. Again for y, y plus delta y. That's what I wrote it in the bracket. Okay. So next, what we want is that we want the difference between these two. Difference between these two. We can see the numerator. F of z plus delta z minus f of z. We want a difference. So I'm writing the difference. So this is f of z plus delta z minus f of z. Okay, so open the bracket. So here, open the bracket. So I opened the bracket here. So after opening a bracket, so this is a real part minus u of xy. I'll collect it the real part one side, imaginary part one side. The term which is independent of I is called as real part. The term which is depending on I is called the imaginary part. See, this is independent of u, sorry, independent of I. So this is called as real part. I have collected in one bracket. The theorem is very simple. I collected in one bracket. Plus, so here and here, I is common. I is common. So I'll collect by taking I common. I collect that imaginary part in one bracket. See, real part I have collected in one bracket. Imaginary part I have collected in one bracket. So after this, what we want, difference is over. This difference is over, right? Difference is over. Divided by delta zy. So I had to divide it by delta z. So real part divided by delta z plus I into imaginary part divided by delta z. That I had to do it in the next step. So that is real part divided by delta z plus I into imaginary part divided by delta z. So next, what I want, limit as delta z tends to 0. I want. So you put a limit for this. You put a limit for this. Okay, so I'm putting a limit. So I'll put the limit for real part as well as I'll take out and I'll put the limit for imaginary part. I'm putting a limit for real part as well as I'm putting a limit for imaginary part as a delta z tends to 0, because delta z tends to 0 is there here. Nothing we are doing. Whatever given definition is there, according to that difference I have taken divided by, after taking a difference, real part and imaginary part, I taken it in a bracket and I had divided by delta z. Next, I had taken the limit as delta z tend to 0. So that is separately I had taken for real part and separately I had taken for imaginary part, and I'm keeping I outside. I outside. That is important. So next, as a delta, see, after doing this, so take that as equation number 1. That as equation number 1. So we know that z is equal to x plus iy. So give increment for x as well as for y. So delta z can be written as delta x plus I into delta y. This is very important. This you take equation number 2. Next, here as a delta z tends to 0 is there. As delta z tends to 0, there are two cases. One is delta x equal to 0. One more is a delta y equal to 0. See, as a delta, this delta z is tending to 0 now, we will construct, we will facing two cases. The one case is delta x equal to 0. One more case is delta y equal to 0. That case we will study one by one. Okay, so that is okay. So you can see here. What is the first case? First case is delta x is equal to 0. So therefore equation 2 becomes. So what is that equation 2? Delta x equal, this is equation 2, right? So delta x equal to 0 means this is equal to 0. What we are getting, delta z is equal to I delta y. So that is delta z is equal to I delta y. As we know that delta z is tending to 0. What is the delta z? I delta y. I delta y tending to 0. I you shifted to this side, delta y tending to 0. So what the conclusion we are getting here, it is very, very important. So as delta z is tending to 0, it is implying delta. What the conclusion we are getting? So we are taking one conclusion and we are getting one more conclusion. So that is delta y tending to 0. So this is very, very important. So that is delta z tending to 0 implies delta y tending to 0. So whatever I have given a right mark over here, this condition and this condition, both I am substituting in equation 1. So what is the equation 1? Limit f of z plus delta z minus f of z divided by delta z at delta z tends to 0. That LHS remains as it is. So I had to calculate it. I had to substitute these things in the RHS. So limit u of x plus delta x is there. You just see the equation number 1. delta x is 0, y plus delta y minus u of xy divided by delta z. So what is the delta z? That is I delta y. And delta z tending to 0 is there. Delta z tending to 0, what it is giving? Delta y tending to 0. So I'm writing here, delta y is tending to 0. Next, plus I into limit of v of x plus delta x is there. Delta x is 0. So I'm not writing that. Y plus delta y minus v of xy divided by delta z. Delta z is I into delta y. So as see here, delta z tending to 0 is there in the equation. So because of that, as a delta z tending to 0, what it is implying? It is implying that delta y is tending to 0. So if you know this much, it is more than enough. So your proof is ready now. So f dash of z. See, as a delta y tending to 0 is there. So the term containing delta y, I had to keep it inside. Remaining I had to take out. So 1 by I. I'll take out, except that everything I'll write it as usual. Plus this I get cancelled. Actually, I'll take common. Later I will cancel it. Okay. So limit of v of this, I'll write everything except that everything as usual. Okay. So that is I get cancelled. So you can see here. This I get cancelled. 1 by I, do you see this? You write directly. So numerator u with respect to y is there. Do u by do y. Numerator v with respect to y is there. Do v by do y. And you write this. Okay. And I told that I always, one thing we should keep it in mind, that I should not be there in the denominator. See, this is there in the denominator. So because of that, I'll take it to the numerator. How to take to the numerator? Just multiply the rationalization of the denominator we have to do. Add and it you can see. Okay. So 1 upon I multiplied by I divided by I. Okay. Do u by do y plus do v by do, except rest of the things you have to write it as usual. So f dash of z is equal to 1 into I is I into I square, I into I, that is I square, do u by do y plus do v by do. I divided by, what is I square? I'll clear it. What is I square? I square is minus 1. So minus I do u by do y plus do v by do y. So I had taken it to the numerator. Earlier, if you see this, it was there in the denominator. By doing the rationalization of the denominator, I had taken it to the numerator. So f dash of z is equal to minus I do u by do y plus do v by do y. So writing the complex term is always real part first plus I into imaginary part, or z is equal to x minus iy. First, always write the imaginary part, write the real part, whether it is plus or minus I into the imaginary part. Always we have to follow this, because this is a tradition in complex analysis. Okay, so you can see this I is there first, next real part is there. So I'll reverse it. So that is, first I'll write the real part, do v by do y minus I into do u by do y. So take this as equation number 3. So take equation 1 over, equation 2 is over, this you take equation number 3. So this is with respect to case 1. Whenever delta x equal to 0, we are getting this, we are getting this, we are substituting in equation 1. After substituting the yielding result, the final result will be this. Okay, so next we'll go for case 2. Oh, sorry, one page is missing here. Sorry. Sorry, friends. 1 second. One page is missing. I'll just take a pic of it. Hello? Hello? I'm audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So delta y. So delta y tending to 0 is there, no? So I had not scanned it. Okay. So delta y tending to 0. Delta x tending to 0, you understood, no? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we'll come to delta y is tending to 0. The second case I'm moving. Okay. So delta y tending to 0. Okay. So what equation 2 becomes? Again, you substitute in equation 2. So equation 2 is delta z is equal to delta x, because delta y we are taking it as 0. As again, in the given equation 1, delta z tending to 0 is there. Okay. As a delta z is tending to 0, delta z means what here? Delta x. Delta x is tending to 0. So what we are getting is that here, as delta z is tending to 0, it is implying that delta x is tending to 0. Therefore, equation 1 becomes, as again I have to substitute in equation 1, that is limit of f of z plus delta z minus f of z divided by delta z, as delta z tends to 0. The LHS will be as usual. So only substitute in RHS. So limit of delta z tending to 0 is there. But here a delta z tending to 0. Delta z tending to 0. What it is implying? Delta x is tending to 0. So I'm writing this. U of x plus delta x, right as it is, comma y of y plus delta y will be there. So that delta y is 0 here. Minus u of xy divided by delta z. So delta z is delta x. So this is the first part. So coming to the second part, plus I into limit of v of x plus delta x as it is, comma y plus delta y. So here you can see it. Delta y is 0. Okay. Next, divided by delta z. Delta z means what? Delta z means delta x. And this limit will be delta z tending to 0 is there. But delta z tending to 0, it is implying that delta x is tending to 0. So it is very important. So I told you, here it is very simple. So this is u with respect to x. So do u by do x. Plus I v with respect to x. So it is do v by do x. So it is do v by do x. So this is nothing but f dash of z. This is nothing but f dash of z. So f dash of z will be getting like this. So equation 3 and 4. So earlier was 3, this was 4. You equate it, because that also f dash of z, this is also f dash of z. Equating 3 and 4. So do v by do y minus I do u by do y. This is equation number 3, and this will be equation number 4. I'm equating. So now I had to equate real to real, imaginary to imaginary. So this is a real part. This is a real part. So real to real, I have equated. Next, equate imaginary part to imaginary part. So minus do u by do. Please try to see, this is minus sign, this is a plus sign. So I had to equate with signs also. And minus do u by do y. So you can see here, minus do u by do y is equal to do v by do x. Minus do u by do y is equal to do v by do x. So therefore, do u by do x equal to, I just interchanged. That's it. Add an it. So do u by do y is equal to minus do, this symbol I shifted this side. That is nothing but ux equal to vy and uy is equal to minus vx. This is what our CR equations. So using the function is analytic. Using the function is analytic, I have proved both. So first, what I had taken. So everyone, you can see. See friends. Okay. So here, just everyone you can see. So using the function is analytic. I proved these conditions. Is it right? Yes, no? Hello? Hello?
Yes,
You
sir.
understood the
Yes,
proof?
sir.
You understood the proof, everyone? So a simple thing that take the as the function is analytic. So once again, I'll repeat because I cannot go for the next theorem. As a function is analytic, so analytic in the sense it should satisfy this condition. Write this condition. What is f of z? F of z is this. Okay. So next, according to that, write it f of z plus delta z. Okay. So next, what you can do is that take a difference, make divided by delta z and take a limit. These things you have to do it. Real part to real part, imaginary part to imaginary part. Okay. So next, after doing this, okay, z is equal to x plus iy is there. Z is equal to x plus iy is there. So delta z is equal to delta x plus I delta y. That you take equation number 2. Next, after doing this, as delta z is tending to 0, there are two cases. One is delta x equal to 0. One more is delta y is equal to 0. So this is a case 1. This is a case 2. So this case 1, everything you analyze and substitute in equation 1. So get the one CR equation and sorry, equation number 3, delta y equal to 0 is substitute in equation 1 and analyze it, and you're getting equation number 4. So as equation 3 and 4 are same, means you're getting f dash of z only. So because of that, you have to equate it. After equating equation 3 and 4, equate real to real part, imaginary to imaginary part. After that, you are going to get the either this or this, both are same only. Okay, you are going to get the CR equations. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me. So today I completed CR equations in Cartesian form. Tomorrow I'll go for CR equation in polar form. Any doubts, please?
No, sir.
No? Shall I end the class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Thanks for attending. Okay, thank you.